So you're all very welcome to another Midweek Exhale. My name's Marie, and there on my screen, don't know where she is on yours, is Sharyn. And together we are the Exhale Awakening. And as the Exhale Awakening, every Wednesday we run this session really to encourage you to take a pause in the middle of your week, to encourage you to rest. Sometimes we begin the week on Monday and it's Friday before we know, and we've almost run ourselves ragged through the whole week. So this is very much a resting space. And our only rule in this space is that you are comfortable. And your comfort comes above all else. Your physical comfort and your whole comfort, but we'll come to that in a second. The session will be split into 4 segments, and in each segment there will be a different breath style. Anything we offer you is an invitation. If, when we come to a segment and you've tried the breath, you decide, no, that's not for me this evening, then absolutely listen to what you need and go back to your natural breath rhythm and just stay connected to your breath. However, the invitation is to try the breath. It is called breath work, and sometimes that can bring you to places that maybe feel a little less comfortable. And where we never, ever ask you to push through and to go past your comfort zone and none of that. We do invite you to stay with the discomfort, just even for a while, to see, just to see what it holds for you. However, if that doesn't feel like what you want to do this evening, then you are very welcome to come back to your natural breath rhythm. Our 4 breath styles this evening, and for people who come regularly, we have done a similar one to this before. We are going to invite you to 4, they're similar breaths. We call them our Sufi elements breaths, for those who know what we do. So we're going to begin by breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now, you will be guided through all of this, but just so that everybody knows what we're about, we'll begin breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. The second segment is going to be in through our mouth and out through our mouth. The third segment is going to be in through our mouth and out through our nose, and we're going to finish breathing in and out through our nose. But as I say, you will be guided in all of that. Each segment will begin with birdsong and will end with silence. Also, in this session, we're going to invite you to the Sigh. In our community this week, we're looking at the Sigh. So instead of doing a 6-minute segment of sighing, we're going to put sighs in throughout. So we will invite you to sighs randomly throughout. Not going to say when, randomly throughout. Again, it is just an invitation, but we don't want you to kind of go, oh, what are they doing? What? If you are in your own process, please feel free to ignore that invitation. But that being said, before we begin, we might just take 2 sighs to get us started. So just inhale through your nose. And when you get to the top, open your mouth and sigh it out. We're going to do that again. Inhale. And maybe this time you want to give it some voice. And when we invite sighs during the session, feel free to do whispered sighs or to do sighs with voice. That's entirely up to you. I think that's everything I have to say. So make yourself comfortable and we will begin. So just feel the surface under you. And check in with your own comfort. Is there a way that you could move or adjust that would maybe increase your comfort a little bit? And you can do this seated or lying down. Just make sure if you're seated that you are supported. And if you're lying down, please don't get up quickly. And just check in with your body. And notice what you're bringing in. Maybe there's areas of tension or tightness. And again, just notice them. Don't get carried away in the stories or the analysis. And then notice your mind. Notice what's going on in your mind this evening. And it might be busy and there might be thoughts flying about everywhere, and that's okay. Just notice them. Try not to get carried away with them, but you very well may. And set the intention that as soon as you notice yourself drifting away, that you will bring your intention slowly and gently back to your breath. Now bring your attention to your breath. And notice your breath as we begin. Where do you feel your breath? And again, without judgment, without it should be different. Allow it to be what it is right now. And in this first segment, we're going to travel with water, the element of water. So begin breathing in through your nose, but breathing out through your mouth. And the breath doesn't have to be any particular length or anything else, just in through your nose and out through your mouth. And with the element of water, we consider our emotions. So as you breathe gently in through your nose and out through your mouth, just noticing what emotions are there. Maybe there are no big emotions, and that's okay. And maybe there are. But just allowing them to be, whatever way they are, just allowing them to be. And focusing on that inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And noticing how your breath's connected, or is there a pause between the inhale and exhale? Maybe you want to slow down that exhale and make it a little longer. maybe take a deeper inhale through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. And then returning to the gentle inhale and exhale. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Allowing any emotions that you feel just to be present. And if your attention has drifted, just gently bringing it back to the inhale through your nose and the exhale through your mouth. Maybe for the last minute, you want to exhale through pursed lips, like you're blowing through a straw. And as the music begins to fade, letting go of the breath pattern, go back to your natural breath and resting in the silence.
And as the birdsong gently brings the silence to a close, the first silence of our session today, just reflecting on how that felt. Perhaps it might be the first time you've spent any time in silence today. Or perhaps it might be a welcome return and feel like a friend. Just noticing for yourself how it felt. In this next segment, we are going to breathe with the element of fire. So we are going to introduce a sense of motivation, a sense of passion and of purpose. Maybe even feeling into your confidence. And we're going to do this by breathing in and out through the mouth. And you can choose your speed for this. And you can choose the cadence of the breath, so where you put the effort and the attention. And I would suggest you start softly and then feel into the invitation from the breath and follow your instincts. But as the music starts, let's first of all take a couple of sighs. So breathing in through the nose and letting it go with a sigh. And again, breathing in through the nose. And perhaps sighing with some noise. And keeping the mouth open. Inhaling through the mouth and exhaling through the mouth. Slowly at first. No push or pull, just gentle breath in and out through the mouth. And as you settle into this rhythm, this breath style, just decide whether you want to speed it up a little or slow it down some. Keeping your focus on the breath in and out through the mouth and noticing how different it feels to the last breath and to your natural rhythm. We're about halfway through this breath now, so maybe take a rest from the open mouth breathing and intersperse this with a sigh. So breathing in through the nose Letting go with a sigh. And again. And maybe now for the last couple of minutes, you can come back to breathing in and out through the mouth. Noticing whether you can feel the fire rising, whether you might want to speed it up gently to encourage that fire to rise, to feel into that confidence, your inner passion. We're in the last minute now before we settle once again into the silence. So feel what needs to happen in this last minute. And maybe on your next exhale, just letting that breath pattern fall away, returning to your natural rhythm. And preparing to embrace the silence.
And as the birdsong begins again, just taking a moment to reflect on that silence and how it was maybe compared to the first silence. Maybe it was different, and maybe it was exactly the same. And in our next segment, we're going to move to the element of air. And we're going to move to our mind and our thoughts. And sometimes our mind and our thoughts are seen as really second class. But this is a chance just to reflect on your mind and on what's happening in your mind, and knowing that that's okay too. And in this segment, we're going to do a breath style that certainly for me, I have to think about to begin with. So in many ways, it does quieten my mind because I have to concentrate. We're going to breathe in through our mouth and close our mouth at the top and breathe out through our nose. So it's probably, well, maybe it's one that you don't do very often. So maybe just try 2 in through your mouth. Close. And out through your nose. And try 1 more. Close and out through your nose. And you may find as you do this that you'll drift into what you know. And that's okay. But before we begin, we might just do 2 sighs to get us ready. So breathing in through your nose. And when you get to the top, sighing it out through your mouth. And another one in through your nose. And if you feel like it, maybe give this one some voice. Keeping your mouth open. In through your mouth. And out through your nose. In through your mouth. Closing your mouth and out through your nose. And continuing with that and finding your own rhythm. Maybe noticing if the focus that you have to put on the breathing is changing the thoughts in your mind. And knowing that it's okay to focus, it's okay to put your focus on what you're doing. In through your mouth and out through your nose. Just checking in that you haven't gone back to something that feels more natural. And allowing the exhale through your nose to be soft and gentle. And as long as it needs to be. And maybe here in the center, taking a pause and bringing the breath in through your nose this time and sighing it out through your mouth. And again, in through your nose. And sighing out through your mouth and keeping your mouth open at the bottom and beginning again. In through your mouth and out through your nose. And maybe you're getting into a rhythm and it's maybe getting a little easier. And if it is, just noticing the thoughts that are in your mind. And just allowing them to be there. In through your mouth and out through your nose. And noticing how that breath feels different to the previous breaths. And as we come towards the end of this segment, just taking a moment to acknowledge your mind and your thoughts. And just to feel into the power of your mind as the music fades and we rest in the silence again.
the birdsong brings that silence to a close, just reflecting on how the silence is changing or is remaining the same as we move through the practice. Notice what it feels like to be invited to rest and to do nothing except breathe. And that is our invitation for the final segment of today, where we're going to breathe with earth. The invitation is to get a sense of the surface underneath you and to breathe gently in and out through the nose at your own pace and at your own rhythm. And perhaps this is the most natural, but maybe perhaps not the easiest. So just keep bringing your attention back to an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the nose. Obviously, if that's available to you with your current health. And before we do, let's just practice our sigh. So breathing in through the nose, pausing a little at the top, and then sighing out through the mouth. One more time, breathing in through the nose. And after a short pause, just sighing. And feeling yourself settle, feeling your connection to the earth. And letting the breath enter you now gently in and out through the nose. And you can count if you wish and bring some balance to those breaths. But actually, I'd rather you placed your focus on your connection to the earth, the surface you're lying or sitting on, which is held by the floor, held in the house or the place where you are, all supported and held by the earth. And then the knowing and the understanding that whenever we have a breath moving through our body, we have a place where we belong. That gentle inhale and exhale that just reminds our nervous system that it's okay. Even if we don't feel okay, just that little breath in and out through the nose just gives us a moment of rest, a moment of pause. Such a simple way to connect back to our body, and a simple way to connect back to the earth. Just a single breath in and out through the nose. And we're within the last 30 seconds or so now, so I invite you on your next inhale to hold for just a second and then sigh the breath out. To repeat that one more time before we go into our final silence.
And as the bird song begins again, just taking a moment to reflect on that silence, but also on the whole session. Maybe just noticing where there's segments you were more comfortable in. And not looking for reasons, just noticing. And now, as it's time to begin to think about coming back to the room you're in and to the Zoom room, maybe just taking 2 final sighs before we start moving or anything else. So breathing in gently through your nose, pausing at the top, and sighing it out through your mouth. And another, in gently through your nose, pausing at the top and sighing it out through your mouth. And now beginning to think about moving gently. Maybe your fingers, your arms, your toes, ankles, stretching or yawning. It's whatever you feel like doing right now, but gently. Maybe gently moving your head, shoulders. And maybe beginning to consider, if you're lying down, rolling onto your side and pausing there just for a few breaths before you think about getting up. And there's time here. Being very gentle with yourself and taking it slowly.
And while you're coming up to seated, and before we open the room for the opportunity to share, or for you to share about your experiences, then just a few notices. So the first one is that the recording of this session will go up in our community. And if you're not already in our community, you might want to click that first link. It's free to join. And you will be able to see our recording. You'll be able to see our recordings without ads. We do put them on YouTube. But then if you haven't got a subscription, you have the ads to contend with. And in the first message I put up there, we have 3 ticketed events. So these are longer breathworks, combined with Celtic wisdom and all sorts of elemental wonders that we bring to the sessions. We have those on the second Sunday of the month. The second Friday of the month, the 4th Sunday of the month, and then we have regular retreats. Now, we're a little different over the Christmas period, so the dates are in there for the Christmas ones, and they happen to be 3 consecutive Sundays. So you could breathe with us 3 consecutive Wednesdays because we are continuing the Midweek Exhale even over Christmas. If you really loved us, you could also come for the 3 consecutive Sundays. And as if that wasn't enough, I don't quite know when we're going to prepare all of these, I hasten to add. And if that wasn't enough, we are also holding 3 breathing space sessions that are free. And that's the 18th of December, the 22nd of December, and the 28th of December. And the times for those are in the chat as well. So if you wanted to breathe with us 9 times before the change of the year, it's a bit much, right? I don't know when we're going to do them either, but you are very welcome to any and all of them. And finally, our directory listing is there. We do love it when we hear from you guys. So if you if you feel like taking the time to give us a review, we would love that. So on that note, thank you for your patience there. I'm going to stop the recording